Today we're going to unbox the TaoTronics Ultrasonic Cold Mist Humidifier. Purchased on Amazon.com for $50. I was going to buy the newer model, which is a 5 liter, for $59. And while it sat in my shopping cart, they changed the price to $69. It ticked me off, so I bought the 4 liter model. It's the second newest model that they have in the larger style. Hello. So what's in the box is the top tank part, instruction manual, and probably a start guide, user manual they call it, and the bottom part. That's what's in the box. Now let's try this puppy out. This product features automatic humidity level setting, 3 adjustable mist settings, a built-in timer, a water filter to remove water bacteria and bad odor, and low water protection. One of the interesting things is that it tells you that the power consumption is 30 watts. So that's like a small light bulb. You know, they used to come 25, 40, 60, 75, 100 watt bulbs. So this would operate with the power of a 30 watt bulb. Probably about as much as one of the bigger CFLs. So that's not, the working time is 15 hours maximum. And then the tank will be empty. And it says the noise level is less than 38 decibels. I think it's rather odd they tell you to let the unit acclimate to the indoor temperature before you use it. I suppose if you brought it in and it was minus 15 outside and you put water in it right away, it might freeze and inhibit the operation. Yeah, actually it says below 41 degrees Fahrenheit. So let it sit in the house for a while before you start assembling. Do not turn the unit on with no water in the tank. Do not touch the water in the sink or any component of the sink while the unit is working. Give yourself a ground. And do not put corrosive liquids in the tank. So don't put any bleach or anything in there. In order to fill the tank, the instructions say, twist to loosen the switch of the filter on the bottom of the water tank and fill water in the tank, then twist the filter back on. That's this thing. This is what they must mean by the switch. That flow starter. That untwists pretty easily. We'll just set that there on the table and go fill her up with water. Okay, we filled it up with water. And when they refer to the sink, they're talking about the top of this. I didn't know what that terminology meant. I thought it meant my sink. They don't care what about my sink, it's their sink. And this little thing fell off when I turned it upside down, but it just sits right back on. We'll worry about that when we set it on the base. I didn't tighten this too tightly. It's plastic, so you don't want to strip it out or anything. We're going to put the fat end on the right hand side of the base. And we're starting to get a gurgle because it's filling up the bottom portion, going through the filter into the bottom portion of the unit. And we'll put this direction thing back on. It swivels any which direction you want it. I guess the mist will come straight up and then come out, so you're not pointing at the wall and getting your paint wet or anything. I'm going to leave my unit on the floor. We're going to try the on button, see what happens. Oh, wait. We're going to have to plug it in first. Don't plug it in until you put water in it, by the way. This is how long the cord is. It's probably about a little over 3 feet. I'm not going to unwind mine because I don't need to. Alright, now we're plugged in. See what we get down here when we press the on button. There we go. My goodness, it's throwing steam already. I think something went by my face. Yeah, it's throwing steam already. You won't be able to see it on the camera, but there's a mist coming out of there. Well, that was quick. Well, I guess it doesn't use heat. Ultrasonic meaning high-pitched sound waves. Now, there's a Humidistat on here, and it looks like it's set for 44, and I think that's a pretty good number. But I'm going to go back and read the instructions to make sure that that's what that means. Maybe it thinks it's 44 in here already. So we'll go check on that. Directions say there's 3 levels of mist, and to change it between levels you just press this mist plus minus button. And now you see that thing gets bigger or smaller. That's a mist symbol. We're going to go big. Well, now you can see it coming out of there. Look at that. That's what you want in the winter time. That is really putting out a nice mist. We're liking it so far. The instructions say this is the humidity level. And to change the humidity level, to increase it, you press the Humidistat button. It goes up in increments of 5, and it says it will go up to 90. Well, you don't want 95% humidity unless you're growing pot in the room. 45 is going to be very comfortable. I think 45 is a good target. If you like a little bit moisture, if you have sinus, dryness and stuff like that, you want to use 50, 55. But bare minimum for comfort and to keep from getting electrocuted when you walk on your carpet, I think 45 is the answer. But you can set that to whatever you are comfortable with. The mist is totally cool. It's actually chilly. You know, it feels like it's a few degrees below room temperature, like 60-degree mist. There's no heat there whatsoever, so you don't have to worry about children getting scalded or anything, like a hot mist vaporizer. And I suppose if you wanted to add some scent to your air, you just set it something on top of it. I wouldn't block this hole though. Let's take a break from that humidifier and I'll show you why I purchased a cold mist ultrasonic humidifier that uses 30 watts of electricity. This is a Sears Kenmore humidifier with a roto belt in it. That's this whole white area down here, goes the whole way down to the bottom of the unit. And it's that tall. It's probably 28 inches tall. And you can put about 10 gallons of water in there, and it was wonderful, and it still is wonderful, except there's only one people who sells this roto belt now. Sears quit selling it. You could last them a couple of years. You could take CLR, that calcium stuff, and soak it in there during the summer, rinse it out, get all the calcium off of it, because it puts out so much water, it builds up that calcium buildup, mineral buildup. And this thing would put gallons and gallons of water into the house. I have a large older home that dries out pretty quickly. But because these belts are unavailable, good belts, I can get cheap ones made cheaply, terrible quality. I tried them, they snap in half after 10 minutes of use. It's almost like they didn't use waterproof glue, and they're $18 a piece plus shipping. So this unit, although it works wonderfully, the belt is worn out and it is retired. But we're not finished yet. This is my extremely noisy Emerson humidifier with water bottles in it that I carry back and forth to the sink. Extremely noisy, and there's 4 paper filters down in there that are about $12 to $16, and you have to change them twice during the winter. And this unit loads up with bacteria, mold, that gets so funky down in there you wouldn't believe it. That older one I showed you never had any mold in that at all, just mineral buildup. This one doesn't have mineral buildup. It has gunk buildup. Nasty stuff putting it in the air. I'm still using this one because it's the only working one I had until this new cool mist showed up. No filters, evaporating pads, belts to buy. What do you hear? Nothing, except the other one running in the background. What do you want to hear? This or this? I actually keep it low enough to make it bearable. I'm going to give the $50 TaoTronics cool mist humidifier, the 4-liter model, an A+. If it keeps working like this, I'm going to be very, very happy with it. This is your unconscious mechanic with a cool mist humidifier. This morning when I awoke and started this humidifier back up, I think it lost the settings from the prior day. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to set it on 60 and a full mist, and then I'm going to turn it off and see what comes back on. There you go. The mist changed. Let's see where the humidity is. It's set at 40. So it does not remember your settings overnight. You have to start out the next day by setting your settings again. That's very disappointing. So this goes from an A+ down to a B+. I don't need to reset stuff every. I think I got it confused. I don't know what my mist setting is now. I guess I'm not going to know until it's time for it to come back on. It's on medium. Now it's on high. In order to see your mist, you have to have mist. I'll leave it on 60 for a while. Yeah, that's very disappointing. It doesn't remember your settings overnight. So this goes from an A+ down to a B+ real quick. I have to get down on the floor and poke that thing every morning. I don't like that. Sorry. TaoTronics, you disappointed me there. It's your unconscious mechanic with a revised review on his humidifier. But boy, is this thing quiet. Cat likes it too. It's just, as far as humidity goes, it's fantastic. The cat really enjoys the humidity too. She thinks that's fun.